Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to another video with a guy and his projects. Today we are working on a beautiful 2018 GMC Yukon Denali, and we are doing the upper control arms with the ball joints and new camber bolts and alignment pins where needed. So this car was brought in, bushings are worn, it's hard to align, all the alignment pins are missing essentially on at least the passenger side. We'll see about the driver's side in a minute, and we're going to fix that. What we got is we have new upper control arms. I will link those in the description below. We have new cam bolts and hardware. I will link those down below, and we have the new pins for the alignment that these cams slide in to help align. That's what's going in and what's coming out in the old. We also have new lug nuts because these are the old ones. I just took those off the back tire. These are the two-piece lug nut, just like Ford and Chrysler like to do. And what happens is where the seam is, where they coat, they put this tinfoil chrome coating on. Moisture gets behind there and then swells, and then this is hard to get off. You can see where I had to pound it out of my socket. That one specifically. So we got brandy new one-piece lug nuts. So these are a lug nut that is not chrome coated, it's chrome dipped or chrome painted. It's not going to swell and be impossible to remove on the side of the road someday. So we're putting those on as well. This is a pretty easy job. Whoa. That was weird. Anyway, this is a pretty easy job you can do in your driveway. We're going to use the lift because I spent a lot of money on it and I have it and I'm being paid to get this vehicle in and out. So we're using the lift, but you don't need one. A jack stand should work out just fine. Do one tire at a time would be my recommendation. No special tools needed. You do need to get this aligned after, fairly quickly after. If you have a good alignment right now, you can kind of trace where the cams are and put them back in the same spot. Either way, you're going to want an alignment when you're done. That's really all I have to say, so we're going to get started. Parts are all linked down below, and yeah, let's do it. Let's raise her up. Alright, as for the swollen lug nut situation, this is a 22mm lug nut, or socket. You can see, like that one, it goes on and it's kind of tight, but it goes on. This one barely goes on halfway. This one right here, like a quarter of the way. That one like an eighth of the way. That one about a quarter of the way. That one about an eighth of a way. Because these swell. So in order to get those out, either you pound your socket on and then put this in a vise and then use a punch and hammer the lug nut back out, or you get a half-size kit, which is what I have here. I will link this down below. This is half-size kits for just such situations. 17.5, 17, 18.5, 19.5, 21, 19, 21.5, 21, 22.5, and 22. So we are going to be using the 22.5 to rip all these off and see how much better that slides on. And it's not really that loose because these are swollen more than a 22. So that's what we're using. I will link this kit down below. It's awesome. I take this guy, you slide that in, zinger out. All right. Yes, I'm aware I could have sucked these all the way out. No, I don't like doing things the easy way all the time. So I'm gonna do this. And off with the tire. Our game plan, I've never done this on this car before, but it looks pretty straightforward. You've got your bolts and cams right here. Those two are going to come off because we're replacing them with the ball or the control arm. And then we got to get the ball joint off. In order to do that, we're going to take a couple other little things off just to get them out of the way so we don't break them. We're going to take this little bracket off here to give this some flex and play. We're going to take this little bracket off here to give it some flex and play, which will allow this to be free. And then we're going to take the load level sensor off as well. That is not in the way so much as I just don't want anything rigid in case I bump something with a pry bar and break this. I don't want to break it. So if we unbolt it, that gives it some play. So if you touch it, bang it, boop it, hopefully it won't break it. So we don't want to break it. So we're just gonna unbolt those 3 things. We're gonna do that first. 10, 10, and this looks like a 12 or a 13. It's not in there super tight. There it is. Alright, so now that that's loose, I'm gonna put this bolt back in the hole just so I don't lose it, because I have a tendency to lose bolts. Now I'm gonna take my 10 and we're gonna take off the other half of this. This has to come off either way because, you know, we're getting rid of the control arm and it's bolted to the control arm. Take that off, move this over. Again, be gentle. You don't want to be aggressive with this thing. These do break. Alright, and then this one you probably don't have to take off, but I'm going to take off anyway. And that just allows everything to flex if you accidentally hit it. Alright, so we are disconnected from all that. It's got some flex room. We're good. Now, in order to have your alignment semi-close, we're gonna try and trace this out. And that's more than mud, that's some grease down there, oil. Something like so. Alrighty, the first thing we're gonna take is the ball joint nut, the upper ball joint. Connected your control arm down here, and we're just going to take this nut off right here. You can't really get a socket in there with the CV axle, but we're going to try. I don't know yet. We're going to try and do this without taking out the strut and everything. We're going to try and just do this. We'll see if it works. But your ball joint nut is right here. We're going to see if we can get lucky enough to crack her loose. I think we're gonna get lucky. I'm gonna tear that off. Be right back. Okay, unfortunately we did not get lucky. Sometimes this happens. It's always less fun. If you take your wrench and turn, you'll watch the stud is just spinning with it because the ball joint is too loose in the socket or whatever that is happening. It's just spinning with that. It's not gonna work. I wanna get a pickle fork and shove it in here to try and put more tension on the ball and then try and unload that. And then we'll see how that goes for us here in a second. And maybe that's enough tension to hold the stud still. Oh, you guys are in the way. It's a crowded space with a camera, man. See, now the stud is not moving, which allows us to take this nut off. And if you don't have an air hammer type gun, a normal hammer and pickle fork will work too. There we go. There's the nut. And control arm is up. Okay, so now we gotta get these cams out. Now here's the story with the cams. It's very important to know you do not spin the bolt side of this cam bolt. You have to spin the nut side of the cam bolt. The nut side is rounded, so you can pull just the nut off. The bolt side is not. It is keyed. So wherever the bolt goes, this cam will go with it. Now that's for your alignment, not for removing the bolt. Otherwise you're going to rip everything out. It's going to be a bad day. So only pull the nut off, not the bolt side. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a wrench on the bolt side. I'm going to get my 21mm socket on this side with my breaker bar, as I'm just assuming these are tighter than hell. And then we're going to break this loose. Yep. Okay. Now that that's broken loose, let me see if I can get my ratchet in there and spin this off. I'm using 21mm wrench and a 21mm socket, by the way. There we go. Oh, wonder if I can get this with my fingers by now. Okay, so this nut is off. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing on that side. I'm gonna try without the breaker bar. It didn't seem horribly tight. Yeah, we're good. Remember, be very gentle with this plastic stuff. So once you get the nuts off, we're done with our wrench. You can go in here and you can kind of pull this cam off. Which is that guy right there. Done with that. There we go. Just a little persuasion. So now getting these bolts out. Here's the tricky part. Sometimes these can be, oh, well, that one's gonna slide right out. This one's a little stickier. So if you have one that's easy, do the easy one first. If they're both stuck, the easiest way I've found, I've done this with my buddy Chase before, is an air hammer right here and just plow it out. Once you kind of get it loose, you can start wiggling this, and then things come out just like that. Okay, now here's the part where I don't know. I think we can be lucky. We're gonna try and leave this coil in place. Look at that. That one's out. Same with this one. Let's try this guy. Oh, we're gonna get lucky today, guys. Just a little bit more. There it goes. Oh, yeah. We do not have to pull the shock tower out or anything else. There's that guy right here. All right. Today's getting better by the minute. Well, we haven't gotten to the other side yet, though. All right, so now that you got those out, theoretically, you can just start kind of wiggling this guy out. If you're not making progress, grab yourself a little pry bar and change direction, just like so. Careful with this plastic stuff. Remember. There we go. Okay, while we're in here, I'm gonna grab a brush and we're gonna try to scrape some of this crap off. Only because I like things clean. Alrighty, these little alignment pins that stick through here, like these ones. 3 of these are in there really solid. I kind of bumped them on them a little bit. None of them moved except this one. This one popped out. So we're going to replace it. So the way we do that is we put that in there. Now there's a couple ways. The instructions say to put a little nut on this side and then use your vice grips and they'll pop right in. And if that works, that's great. In the past, I have not been happy with that method. What I found instead is to use a set of caliper compressors, caliper piston compressors. And I like to stick them in here, put them on tighten mode, and it acts like a press. This typically, in my experience, works way better. Except this one time, because that's I'm trying to show you. So if the caliper press doesn't work because this metal is bowed like this one, got it almost all the way in there. Use a pair of vice grips. You can grab a nut and you just put this nut over top of it. Grab your vice grips, line it up. And this is why I hate this method. The caliper decompressor usually works. Not today though, it said. Almost, but not quite. Ah! This is where it starts getting hot in the garage. Okay, now that we got that pin in, and the other ones are all right, we're gonna try and slide our control arm in. So because we opened that up with the caliper press, trying to press this pin in, this is going in easy. You might have to spread this to get your control arm in. Sometimes they're a little bit hard. So when you put these cam bolts in, you have to do it from this side out, or your alignment guy is going to hate you because they have to tighten it with this nut. And you have to use a wrench. If you do it in there, it sucks. You can use a ratchet on the outside. So I guess you don't have to. I do it that way. I'm going to reach around behind. See, that's at the end there. And then it's just a matter of playing the game of where's the hole. And I know this flickers on you, I'm sorry, but I need lights. Ugh. There's the hole. We just don't have access to it yet. Oh, so close. It needs to go lower. There it is. Take the other half of your cam. I'm sorry if it's flickering on you guys. I can probably turn it off. There we go. And you're going to slide this on this side. Again, I'm going to leave this on the edge because it's easier for me. Slide this around back. Get her close. Now you just got to play the mix and match and wiggle wiggle game until you can get both sides of each pin, just like this one is now, on at the same time. Once you got that, you can go ahead and start tightening her down. Okay, very important at this point, we are just snugging these up. Just to the point where these cams ain't gonna fall off the pins, because I don't want to keep playing that game. Alright, the next thing I like to do before I get this all tightened, I'm gonna go ahead and get our ball joint on here before I finish tightening those. Oh, so the way we're gonna do that, just one, we're gonna stay careful not to break this. We're just gonna kind of push this through, and we're gonna grab the nut that came with the ball joint. All right, so once that's in, now we're gonna go ahead and snug these up. To the torque specs I put down below which is the best of my ability, what I can find online. The other thing, as you tighten this, you want to make sure these cams are kind of in a similar place they were when it came off for your alignment. That said, even if you get them exactly where they were, it might not be perfect because this is new hardware, new cams, and all that. Alright, I'm going to put these torque specs down below for you. Okay, I watched the video I took to see where these were, and I think we're actually kind of close. As far as close goes anyway. Alright, same thing. Just going to tighten this up, switching to my deep socket. And your alignment guy is going to loosen these a little bit and make it perfect. Hey, look at that. We're pretty much there. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this bracket back together here. So you might have to manipulate this. You might have to pull this lever up and down to get it to fit where it was. And there is a little pong. Pong, that's a word I haven't heard in a while. A little tong, a ting, a tang in the back here that needs to fall into its hole. That's what keeps it aligned, and yes, you do want and need this aligned. Okay, so we got that bolt. I'll put this guy in, and that was a 10 mil. And then we got this bracket we can put back in place again. Alright, so this ball joint we're going to tighten. Make sure I'm tightening the right way. With you guys right in the way again. Why are you guys in the way so much? Let me see if I got stubby. I do have a stubby 18mm ratchet wrench. I'm going to snug this up as much as it'll let us. Alright, we're going to get this until she's tight. And we got to line up the cotter pin. You can go a little tighter than that though. I'm putting my finger on the bottom to make sure the stud's not turning. Always think about how you're going to pull this out when you put it in. So we were going to want to pull it that way when it's time. So we're going to shove it in this way. And use our fingers. And try and bend this around. And if you can't, grab some needle. Okay, next thing is bought a set of control arms that require a grease zerk. And they came with them too, believe it or not. So we're going to thread that grease zerk in. And we're going to tighten her down. On these, never torque them. Just get them till they bottom out. You don't want to push them down. When I'm using the word torque, I'm saying like crank it. I'm not saying torque specs. Always use torque specs. Don't just vroom it down. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so now we're going to grease it. And we're going to just put this on here. And alright, that should be plenty. And while I'm here, because this is the kind of guy I am, I want to grease their tie rod. Because it's super easy right now. At this point, we are ready to put a tire on. Oh, alright, the information I found online says 140 foot-pounds for these, so that's where we're going to go. Torque is now limited to no more than 140 foot-pounds. We're going to drop her down and go click, click, click. But before I do that, I gotta go rip off the other two sides lug nuts, put the new lug nuts on those, and do the other control arm on the other side, which hopefully will go just as smoothly as this one. Alright folks, that's all there is to replacing your upper control arms on your 2018 GMC Yukon Denali. Pretty easy job actually, all things considered. I'm going to go do the passenger side, but while I do that, why don't you guys check out the video description, the top pinned comment, where I have all the parts and special tools we used today. Remember, if you click on a link and buy stuff, I make money. Don't even have to buy the stuff I link. Just click link, buy stuff, I make money. It helps. Also, a PayPal and Zelle link down below if you want to donate directly to the channel and help other people out, myself included, with these videos. So, guys, thanks for sticking around. Remember, do what I do at your own risk. I'm just a guy posting content on YouTube. I don't know jack diddly squat. So, thanks for watching. Keep watching. Adios.